What is up, Mount Silver Battles? BlazeShadowThorn here with a Wi-Fi battle for you guys. It's gonna be an OU match, although I did bring my mono team just because I felt like it. Looking over at my team, I have a specially defensive lead Registeel, a Jolly substitute Aegislash, a Mega Scizor, a Scarfed Heatran, a specially defensive Wall Breaker Empoleon, and then a choice Scarfed Excadrill, which it seems like a weird team, but it actually works. It's very shocking how well this thing works. Looking over at my opponent's team, he has the Breloom, which it's either going to be Poison Heal, Focus Punch, or Technikin Mach Punch, because it's always what they are. He has a Charizard, which if it's Y, it's going to be a bit of a problem, because Charizard Y always is a bit of a big threat to Mono Fire. He has the Flygon, which is going to be a problem if it's Scarfed, because the Scarfed Earthquake can demolish a lot of my team, and I only have like a few counters to it. The Azumarill could be a problem. The Gliscor I view as a wall, but not really a threat. And then the Umbreon is just like there, just to look pretty, I think. Because really, I don't view it as much of a threat at all. Sure, it'll be a wall and it'll be annoying to deal with, but I have checks for it. So anyway, getting right into the match, he's going to be leading off straight off the bat with his Charizard. As I lead off with Leedle, the Registeel. So right off the bat, I'm going to go straight away for the Thunder Wave, just because I know from prior experience I can live a Flamethrower in the sun, and depending on the damage roll, I can live a Fire Blast, depending on like min damage, max damage. But anyway, it does turn out that he has Fire Blast, so I'm like, okay, if he gets min damage, I can live it, but unfortunately he doesn't, and he is able to knock me out with the Fire Blast. That's okay. It's not like happy, but I can deal with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out in my replacement, because I know that Choice Scarfed Jolly Excadrill can knock this thing out. I go for the Rock Slide and I miss. So right off the bat, the Hacks is being real bitch to me, and that is gonna definitely not make my mood very happy. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna switch out, and that Charizard Y is gonna stay around for a bit longer, which that's not very good. No, I'd want that thing gone. It should be dead right now. So I'm going to go for another Rock Slide. As he switches out, he goes out into his Breloom to take that. When I see no Toxic Orb, I automatically assume it's going to be either a Sash or Life Orb with Mach Punch and Technician. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out into my Surprise, because I know it's a pretty solid counter to it. He goes for Spore, which is annoying, but looking at my team, Surprise is probably the best thing to put to sleep, because it's probably the best thing that can handle this Breloom one-on-one. So he's gonna set up a Swords Dance. I stay asleep, which I'm not very happy with it, but I can deal with it. I can deal with it. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna keep on setting up Swords Dance. He's getting a little greedy actually, but I'm asleep. There's really not much he can really do to me. But he actually decides to go for a Spore right here, predicting me to wake up. But no, I get like the 4 or 5 turn sleep hacks. So that is a bit unfortunate. So, another bit of hacks biting me right there. He makes a really weird play by switching out right away. I mean, he set up all those Sword Stances and then he switched. It was very weird to me. But anyway, he's going to go out into his goggles, the Flygon. I'm able to get up a substitute, which is great, because now it reveals to me that he has Fire Punch, which personally, I would have went for an Earthquake. Fire Punch seems like a bit of a risky play. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight away for the Sacred Sword, because there's really no reason for me not to. I know he's going to break my sub, so there's no point setting up a Sword Stance. And it does good damage, considering I actually have no attack investment whatsoever on this Aegislash. It's all in defense and HP and summon speed. And yeah, I do run speed investment on the Aegislash. Sue me. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into my bubbles, predicting him to go for going for an Earthquake, predicting me to switch out into Heatran. But he goes straight away for another Fire Punch, which I'm like, oh. And then he switches. I'm like, oh, he's Choice Scarfed. I'm an idiot. So what he's going to do is he's going to switch out. He's going to go back out into his Mars, which I think is a bit of a misplay. Normally, I guess he was predicting a Scald of some sorts, but I do pack the Ice Beam on this Empoleon, because it's normally went for a Garchomp, Flygon, Landorus, Breaker, Gliscor, just for those things that are quad weak. I can avoid the Earthquake with the Air Balloon, and that's it. That's just what it's there for. What he's gonna do now is he's gonna go out into his Cobalt, his Azumarill. He's gonna go for the Play Rough. It does good chunk of damage. Personally, though, since he does reveal Superpower here right now, I probably would have went for the Superpower first turn, and there's real no reason to go for Play Rough, because Play Fairies resisted. I am a Mono Steel team, so that. That was a bit of a weird play, but it doesn't do like too much because the grass knot doesn't do like jack shit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back out in my surprise now. He is at -1, so I know he's not gonna want to stay in, which means I'll be able to get up another free substitute, which is great. As he's gonna bring back in the Charizard Y. And that's fine. I am at least able to get up a substitute, so I do have that. So I can go for like a couple shadow sneaks if I want to. So then it all just comes down to like if maybe he'll miss a fire blast or something like that, I can get a bit more damage off. But I just really need to just deal with this Charizard Y because it's turning into a big problem. So what I'm gonna do right here is I'm just gonna go straight away for the shadow sneak. No real reason not to just try and get like as much damage off on this Charizard Y as possible because like that thing can single-handedly wreck my entire team. And I don't want that to happen. So gonna go with the Fire Blast that is gonna be able to knock out my substitute. Obviously I'm in Blade 4, I'm super effective, Charizard Y, Sun, all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna get some leftovers recovery. And now I'm thinking here, do I sack my Egg Slash or do I switch? So I'm thinking I'm gonna switch out because I really feel that I need it for later. So I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go out into my Scarf Draw and my Scarf Heatran as he goes for the Fire Blast. I am able to get the Flash Fire boost, and now this is where I can start wrecking things because I know for a fact that I can do a lot of damage in the sun with a Fire Blast to this Charizard Y. As it is, he switches out. He goes out into his Azumarill to resist it, and I call that a resist. It just dies. You do not mess around with a Scarf Heatran, especially when it gets a Flash Fire boost and it's in the sun. No. What he's gonna do is he's gonna go now into his Gliscor, his Razor, and that thing just gets straight up OHKO'd from the Fire Blast. Yeah, I am actually rocking the Modest Scarf because I felt when I was running Timid Scarf it didn't give me nearly enough power that I needed to. So now he's gonna go out. Unfortunately for me, the sunlight does fade, which is a bit unfortunate. So as I go for another Fire Blast, it is not able to OHKO, even though I do get a critical hit because of the faded sunlight. He ended up going for Toxic, which he later told me was a misclick, but really, I don't think it matters too much because what is an Umbreon going to do to me? Like Foul Play, that won't be able to OHKO me, not at full HP. So what he's going to do is he's going to switch out. He's going to go out into Goggles, the Flygon, which personally I wouldn't have because I know it's scarfed or choiced in some way. And if he would have just fought it off the Umbreon, he could have brought that thing in, maybe just OHKO'd me with an Earthquake, or maybe he would have been able to OHKO me with an Earthquake if he had Earthquake on it. So what he's going to do now is he's forced to bring back in the Charizard Y because there's absolutely nothing else he can do. The only other Pokemon he has is the Umbreon at low amount of HP. And that thing is just going to get straight up demolished by this Fire Blast. So Scarfed Heatran pulling in clutch, getting a little mini sweep right at the end, saving me from the destruction that would have been. So, that's going to be the match. Scarftron is going to be able to go with one final flame Fire Blast. Fortunately for me, I did not miss my Fire Blast, because if I did, it would have been a very, very different story. But I guess, the hacks at the beginning kind of levels out in the end for me not missing any of my Fire Blasts. So hopefully you enjoyed the battle. Hopefully you enjoyed my narration. If you did, feel free to leave a like and a comment. I love reading those comments, especially, and getting feedback. It's really great because then the feedback allows me to improve my narration and see what I'm lacking. And, I can see it only from my perspective as I'm editing it. And you know what they say, when you make something of yourself, like, it always looks better in your eyes, just because you spend like 30 minutes to an hour editing this thing, putting in the sidebars, making sure everything's like proper and everything. And you just get to the point where you're like, okay, it's good enough. So it's always good to get some new eyes, new fresh blood feedback. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, as I said before, my channel link will be in the description below. I think I've said enough and rambled on for long enough. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time, hopefully. Bye.